It's Mike Flynn's case, but Judge Sullivan's move, because justice matters. Hey all. So we recently learned that Bill Barr's Department of Justice has moved to dismiss Mike Flynn's case, a case in which Mike Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. The case is being presided over by Judge Sullivan. What are the stakes? What are the consequences of Judge Sullivan either granting the motion to dismiss and getting rid of Mike Flynn's case, or denying the motion to dismiss and proceeding to sentencing against Mike Flynn? The first thing I can all but guarantee is Judge Sullivan will order a hearing on this motion to dismiss. He will probably require the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Tim Shea, a Bill Barr acolyte or lackey, if you will, to appear before him to explain himself. Tim Shea is the one who signed the motion to dismiss Mike Flynn's guilty plea. Judge Sullivan may also order Bill Barr to appear and explain the Department of Justice's rationale, its thinking in this extraordinary flip-flop, in its decision to try to get rid of a case where a defendant pled guilty knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily to lying to the FBI. After that hearing, what happens if Judge Sullivan denies the motion to dismiss? That means he would proceed to sentencing, and he could imprison Mike Flynn for a period of months. By statute, the offense of lying to the FBI carries 5 years, but in the plea agreement that the Mueller team entered into with Mike Flynn and his attorneys, they said they would only ask for a sentence of 0 to 6 months. So if Judge Sullivan denies the motion to dismiss, he will probably still abide by the terms of the agreement that limit Mike Flynn's exposure. However, if he grants the motion to dismiss, you think Mike Flynn going to prison for some months is bad? Well, if Sullivan dismisses Mike Flynn's case, it may end up being so much worse for Mike Flynn. Why do I say that? Well, in the plea agreement, Bob Mueller's team said, Defendant Flynn, if you plead guilty to one count of lying to the FBI, we will not prosecute you for the other crimes you committed. And Mike Flynn's plea paperwork sets out what some of those crimes are. And let me just go through some of them. It talks about how not only did Michael Flynn request of the Russian ambassador that Russia refrain from escalating the situation in response to U.S. sanctions against Russia, one crime, one lie to the FBI, but he also lied about requesting foreign officials vote against or delay a United Nations Security Council resolution. And there's a third one. He also made false statements regarding his lobbying activity on behalf of the Republic of Turkey. And let me read just a little bit about that, because we haven't talked too much or heard too much about that because we've been so interested in his guilty plea for lying about, talking with the Russians about sanctions. Here's how that reads in Mike Flynn's plea paperwork. False statements regarding Flynn's contacts with foreign governments in March of 2017, when Flynn filed multiple documents with the Department of Justice pursuant to the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, F-A-R-A, in connection with his lobbying on behalf of the Republic of Turkey. In the FARA filings, in those documents that he filed with the Department of Justice, he made materially false statements and omissions, and then his plea paperwork goes on to list 3 lies, 3 materially false statements in the documents he filed with the Department of Justice. Well, guess what? If Judge Sullivan grants the motion to dismiss his case, then come January, all of those crimes can be indicted and Mike Flynn can be tried in connection with all of those crimes. So if Mike Flynn wins this battle and Judge Sullivan agrees to dismiss the case against him, he may very well lose the war. Because folks, come January, when we have a law-abiding president and a law-enforcing attorney general, whoever he or she might be, justice is going to come. Because justice matters.